Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Candid Conversations. Today is going to be really fun. I have special guests here, Benji and Gabe Nunez.
Hey.
And we're going to be talking about dating.
And
And my
Dating 101.
I think
dating
You keep
101.
dating your husband even when you're married.
and my beautiful husband, CJ.
Round of
Is here.
applause for CJ.
All right, well, we're going to talk about dating. Oh, God. Tip number 1, don't forget your husband or your boyfriend.
go back and see the response of CJ. He was like,
Rewind.
Maybe I'll just put it in right now. Think.
Yeah.
Think. There's CJ. Anyways, so I actually asked a bunch of my single friends because I don't know what questions people are asking these days. We've been married for a pretty long time. You guys too?
3 years.
3 years?
We're still
Still fresh.
newlyweds.
That's still really
Perfect.
fresh.
Cool. Yeah.
For 9
How long
years.
are you? 9?
9.
yeah.
Dang, we're so old. So we're going to start with the first one.
Okay.
How important is physical attraction? Okay, so we'll
Yeah.
start with the guys first. How important is physical attraction for a girl? I mean, for a
For
guy.
you.
For you to be interested in a girl.
I
think-
would say that's the number one thing I noticed. 100%. If that doesn't
At least it's
exist,
the
it's not gonna work.
introductory, right?
Yeah.
At least to me, it will never work. I will try to find ways to like a girl because of the attitude, Christianity, or loves the Lord, amazing, blah blah blah. But if the physical is not there, it never goes around for me.
I think that
Man,
I'm trying not to get shot on the front end, but I think in religious circles or just in the Christian world, we are quick to push that aside and go
Yeah.
and validate everything else. When in reality, it still does start there, and that is a part of the marriage. Is that you want to be physically attracted. Now, sometimes it doesn't even start that you're physically attracted to somebody, but that can develop. But it needs to be there. If you don't have that, like you
Totally.
said. I've had times where I tried to force a relationship to happen because we were good friends, or there was a lot of everybody else was like, "Oh, you guys would be perfect together." And the thing was, the girl was very beautiful, but I wasn't even technically attracted to her.
Yeah.
And because of that, you would try and force something to happen,
Yeah.
and in the end, it ended up hurting her more, it hurt me more. I wasn't as committed, and it was just a bad all around. Like, you need to be attracted to the person that.
Yeah.
100%.
Would you agree? Like for
Yeah, I would actually say, sorry, babe. I wasn't that attracted to Benji in the beginning of us like meeting, and it was a big.
sorry, babe.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
It's I'm
Fine.
desperately attracted to him now. It just it was like a thing that I needed to kind of like work through and work on for there to at least be that mutual
Yeah.
attractiveness.
And
Yeah.
with girls it's different than with guys.
Yeah.
It's so
I
true.
know that with guys you can go around. There's no way that you can actually convince yourself
To think someone's
about
attractive.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not gonna work. At
Yeah.
least not with both of us.
Yeah.
But I
That's
do
true.
think, I mean, the same was true with you.
Oh,
and
it took,
me.
the first month that we dated, I'd sit there and be like, I don't even know why I'm with you. I'm not even attracted to you.
Straight told me that multiple
Straight
times.
up.
Oh, to me
Month.
too, bro. There you go.
You'd say that?
What did you say? What did you say
Did
back?
I say that?
You're like, I was looking for someone that is blonde, tall, and bigger than me, and this, that. I'm like,
Yeah, there was the bigger than
I'm
you
not attracted
factor.
to you. I'm like, okay, that's good.
It was really skinny when we first met, and I probably I was a bit bigger too. So I was like, this is weird. And I thought I was taller than him for a while.
But you're
She
not.
thought that she was taller than me. Like, that was the mindset. And I'm probably taller than her.
How much taller are you than her, though?
I'm
Like
6
an
feet,
inch or
and
two.
yeah, she's like 5'9", 5'9".
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
that's
my
you're still
goodness.
taller. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's quite normal, huh, for girls to. So I think for women, like you said, attraction can totally build.
Yeah.
I mean, especially once you get to know someone's personality and you see their character, all of a sudden it's like their hotness factor goes like way up.
yeah.
And I think that can happen with guys as well.
What do you usually find though? Like the physical attraction is the introductory.
Totally,
Like,
it has to.
That's
on
usually where
both
things start.
sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. If that's the premise, yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
At least on the
Front end.
when you're first meeting somebody, that's
Yeah.
like the thing that defines it. And if you have a good relationship, obviously,
Yeah.
you
Of
can
course.
build an attraction because there's lots of things that are attractive beyond
That's
just
true.
your physical
Yes.
appearance.
Yeah.
You know, And so there's lots of things in a person that can become attractive to you, but physical
But this
appearance
question is
important.
this question is specifically physical attraction.
In the beginning.
In the beginning.
Yeah.
It's important in the beginning.
But literally, she told me in the beginning that she was not attracted to me almost every time we were out. And every time I literally would respond to her and go, I was like, it's all right, you'll figure it out. I'm hot.
So this
You'll
is
get it over.
this
it."
is a
And
tip
I was
for
like,
the
you'll
guys.
figure it out in time.
So this is actually a tip for the guys.
Yeah.
Be
Like,
confident.
Yeah, this
Be really confident.
Because for women, that is an extremely attractive character.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. But I will take confidence over like a good looking face any day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, if there's a little boy behind that.
You have a good looking face. Gosh.
You're both.
You're both.
Both.
You're
Now.
both. Now.
And sometimes it helped me to have older people to tell me that sometimes, even though, sorry about this, but it's insecurity. It's insecurity from the girls in the beginning. That they're they've been thinking about marriage for decades.
Our whole lives.
Not me.
So obviously they have a bigger list.
I was like,
you
I don't
know,
even
and
believe in
And
marriage.
they're only 18 years old, but it's been decades.
Yeah.
Depending when you find, I found her
Almost
21.
two.
So how important is spiritual attraction? Spiritual attraction. What does that even mean?
What is spiritual attraction?
Like their character, probably.
Maybe, or like maybe they're
But that's like different. That's like personality.
Maybe it's like their life in God. I would say
Yeah.
that.
Well, I mean, it is, like we said before, there's more than physical attractions. Of course,
Yeah.
there's other things you can be attracted to, but if you start tying in spiritual attraction with just somebody who is in the place of worship and prayer, and that's it, and you just think that, they're so attractive because they're so
Yeah.
engaged with the Lord, which is great, but you don't find out
Like what
who
they're
they
really
are,
like.
what they're like outside of that, and what they're like outside of just their relationship with the Lord, how they respond to people. You gotta be careful with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I was saying character more than
Yeah.
More
spirituality.
than spirituality.
Because
Yeah,
at the end of
that's
the day,
good.
there's nothing more spiritual than your character. But you can be in a season of consecration and you look super spiritual, but that doesn't mean that you have the mileage of building,
That's
godly
really good.
family character and all of that stuff. So
Yeah.
There really is that maturing in how that is walked out. Like you can have really good zeal on the front end, but has it been tested and tried a little bit to
True.
where when the hard times come, the character
Yeah.
begins to build. And even if they do it wrong, they've got the other character to apologize, be humble,
Yeah.
and
For
keep
real.
working forward to keep growing.
Yeah.
So then that's actually the walking out of spiritual attraction.
Yeah.
I'd say it.
It's good. All right, let's move
Did we
on.
just overrun you guys? What do you guys?
No, I feel like this is good
Just,
because
you can take the whole video.
Hey, can you guys go to the outside now?
we
Me and
submit.
Benji will come to the middle.
we're
and-
gonna change it to
We're gonna
CJ's
switch it
channel.
around.
We'll just submit to your
we'll just-
Oh no!
that's another video submission.
Okay, I'm gonna become
Whoa.
little here. Just go.
Okay.
Benji, that's great leadership. He's already on board.
Oh my god.
Take notes from this guy.
Wow.
I feel like it's such a vague question, so I'm trying to figure out what that even means. Spirituality, you have to have life in God, hands down.
Yeah.
If you don't, that's not gonna work.
Something that was funny for us was when I was like on the fence about Benji, he was like talking to one of our like mentors and friends, Mike Bickle, and Mike was like, "She's gonna come around. Like you got the package. Like you." But he kind of like was pushing the spiritual side, which in the end was like a major attraction for me with him because he had the history of like a deep life in God, had literally like had a decade already of like being in leadership, but not only that, like having a true personal relationship with the Lord. And like at the end of the day, that's worth more than gold. Like that's worth more than anything. So
Yeah.
that was a big thing for me.
Totally. So let's just call it, for me, I'd say call it a life in God, a history
Yeah.
with God. I would take that. And that does bring up the attractiveness for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've seen people that we know that have, been attracted to someone physically and they don't have a spiritual life in God, and they keep trying to fix that in the person, and that just winds up in such a destructive
Yeah,
place down
it
the road.
doesn't work.
Because you've basically given yourself over to being fully in love with this person, and you've given your heart to them, and you haven't realized that they don't have the spiritual, if you want to call it attraction or character or whatnot, to back why you're giving your heart to them.
Yeah.
And you see people wind up in a really bad place when
Yeah.
they do that.
And it's so funny how you can lose your attractiveness to a person based on what you find out about them
That is
after you get
so
to know them.
true. It is
like,
very true. You're
I
not
think
good looking
we're
anymore.
good-looking,
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's great. That's so true.
Yeah. So
That's
cultivate
so
your hearts
Yes.
and your life in God.
Let the inner beauty come.
Yes. it really
And
is
which
true.
will
That's
affect
true.
your
It
outer
really is
beauty.
true.
You
It
know,
does.
It
You
will.
watch people, they grow in their confidence, their character, and all
Yeah.
that, and they physically become more attractive.
Yeah.
What does it mean? This is for the guys, okay? What does it mean when a guy tells you he's interested in you but just wants to be friends for a while?
Sounds like the guy needs some maturing.
I like how she's
For
just like,
real.
I think first off, you have to understand why, like, language is big. So
Yeah.
what do they mean by that?
I
Like,
have no
one
idea.
person could be, you know, in their mind, they're trying to pursue you and date you, but they've grown up in a world that I have to court or be
Oh,
friends,
God.
or I have to build this relationship because once I'm dating, I've actually committed to marriage.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
gosh.
So instead
That's
of
our relationship.
instead of engagement becoming an engagement, they start tying dating with engagement.
man.
And so
Yeah.
you have to understand somebody's language too, which I
Yeah.
think that's part of a relationship is you kind of need
That's
to define
true.
that. Like,
Define
do
what
you
that
mean?
even means. Yeah.
Because if they really mean the same thing, they're just using different language, then whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But if they are going, I'm interested in you,
Uh-huh.
but I just want to be friends, it sounds more like going, hey, I kind of want you to be on the hook for me while I
Yeah.
figure out what I want to
What
do.
I
with my-
really
Yeah.
want.
want to do with my life, and that's just jacked up.
I
Yeah.
know. Like,
That's what I was like, yeah. That
talk about
sounds
playing
weird,
with the
yeah.
girl's emotions and like leading her on, but like no clarity.
Yeah.
Which probably that's not what I like. What you said, it's all about don't get trapped in semantics or the language, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's the real meaning?
There's a great guy to ask on language.
There you
I
go.
mean,
I know,
'cause
right?
English is your second
Oh,
language.
Yeah.
we
so-
got stories.
So
Oh,
how many
yeah,
times
there's
have
Tell
you
a
read it?
story. Tell a story about language confusion.
No, it is big. It is so big. Yeah, because I don't
The
think.
day. Oh, sorry. I
Yeah,
kinda
no, go for
interrupted
it.
you. The day we officially started dating,
Uh-huh.
Benji told me he loved me. And I straight up told him, you don't love me. You don't even know me. But it was a language difference because in
Because
English.
she's cute, she can teach. She is able to tell me all kinds of stuff. All the time.
No, but in English we only we say I love chocolate
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
I love you.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
only
yeah.
one word. In
love
Spanish they
chocolate.
have te quiero, which is like I like you or I'm interested.
Yeah.
That's
And
what you
then te
meant, right?
amo, which is like I've fallen off the cliff.
What should
Yeah.
be I love you in English, but it's like I love everything now. In
Yeah.
English, I love
Yeah.
is everything.
Love is just everything. Yeah.
So
So
diminished.
he was telling me like te quiero, like I really
I
like
like
you,
you.
but it's love. But that's
It's
where
like
I
a
was
beginning
missing.
stage of love.
he's like,
Yeah.
he's like, you're chocolate. I love chocolate.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah,
As
it
in-
was not that serious, but she was like, "No, you
I was
don't
like,
love
oh,
me." I was
wow.
like, "Yeah, but I'm not meaning
I mean, like,
love
little
life.
love.
I'm meaning like I really like you."
Little L.
Yeah, little L.
Okay, so clarity on language.
Yeah.
Girls and guys, right?
Yeah, which actually means you have to sit down and talk to each other, which is
Yeah.
the biggest thing. I mean, because we have language barrier even based on culture,
Yeah.
churches, the people you're around. I'm from the Midwest. You're from the Bay Area.
Yeah.
We had huge language, and we both spoke English, so that's
Right.
just communication.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
get tripped up on something without clarifying it.
Yeah, no, that's
Totally.
that's big.
I don't know how many times I've talked to like single friends who are like, I don't know what he meant by this. I'm like, just ask him then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Communication.
And if he freaks
oh
out
my
about it,
gosh.
then you probably don't want to continue this
Yeah.
relationship.
Great point.
I told Benji at one point, like kind of near the beginning of when we were meeting and interested in each other, I said like, I want to be in the friend zone right now, but still be exclusive in the sense of like, I'm not trying to go date any other
Yeah.
person. I'm intentionally getting to know you for the purpose of like building this relationship. But I can only be your friend right now. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can't commit beyond
Because
that.
I asked her to date. I asked you to date me exactly at the 40-day mark that I met you.
Yeah, I was like,
So we
too
needed
fast,
more. We
too
needed
soon.
more. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That
I was
was
like,
awesome.
I don't know you. I don't know if I can be your girlfriend yet.
Yeah.
But see, even that I feel like is language.
Yeah.
Because what that meant to you can mean something different
Yeah.
to him or for us. Because like for me, I'm like, yeah, dating's just friendship.
Yeah,
you know what I
getting
mean?
to know,
But that's
no
that's me and my understanding of it. And so
Right.
being clear as to what you mean and what like you guys can mean the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how you define it, you just have to talk it out.
Clarify it for sure. When is it okay for a girl to ask a guy to define his intentions or gain clarity on the relationship's future?
Can you say that again? That was like so intense.
When is it okay for a girl? When is it okay?
A DTR.
Yeah, DTR. Basically, when is it okay for a girl to ask a guy to have a DTR? And actually, the other question is, should a girl be the one who asks for a definition?
Oh, I think it's about 3 weeks and 2 days in.
Are you joking?
Ideally, the guy
Should.
the guy should be the one to bring it up.
So give a time frame, especially
No.
for. You don't think there's a time frame?
The reason I was saying that is because I was partly joking.
Oh.
Like, I mean, I agree.
Like, how can you put the exact date and...
Yeah, so then I can know exactly when I need to do this. And I think that relationship, again, it comes down to relationship. Like, if you know somebody like that, it could be a month or it could be 2 months based on how you're spending time together.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
You know what I mean? Like,
For example, in our case, we went out the first time for a date, and it was 8 hours.
Yeah.
It was a date, but we're not boyfriend and girlfriend. So we were talking for 8 hours. Then I asked her in that night, do you want to do it again? She says, yes. We go out again, and it's like hours and hours. Obviously, after the third time, I have to define it.
No, but
Because it was intense.
We went out like for a few weeks like that.
Yeah, it's because I had a thing with the Lord. It had to be 40 days. But I would have done it from the second date. I don't know.
To be like,
it was
hey,
too much.
Yeah, he needed to define clearly, like saying it, like I like you, I want to pursue you, like I'm looking to date you. But then it was even after all of that I was like, okay, I still want to just have more time of doing what we were doing, which was the going on dates and getting to know each other better. Without having
The pressure.
the title of like being a boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
Which sucked for me, but then I understood.
Yeah.
It took me a couple of days to get it.
that's part of pursuing a girl is that
Yeah.
every girl's going to be different. And you kind of have to
Totally.
find out how
Absolutely.
she wants to be
Yeah.
pursued, you know? I mean,
Because that's how you start serving the person you're going to marry. Because you want the girl to bloom, her heart to bloom, right? Not just to
Follow you.
do what I
Do
want to
whatever
do.
you want to do.
Or use the Lord. The Lord told me that. I never said that. That's horrible.
Yeah.
Oh gosh,
Horrible.
I would say though for
Manipulation.
no, that's total manipulation.
I don't care if you're using the Lord to tell somebody what they need to do for you in your life. That's manipulation.
Yeah.
Oh,
so-
If the
Yeah.
Lord's on it, let Him figure it out. It's kind of like David
Yeah.
said, "You're going to
Absolutely.
be king." He doesn't go and take kingship and say, "The Lord told me to."
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
just kept being
Ugh,
a leader.
kingship.
He kept being a leader and actually served Saul until that day
Yeah.
the Lord brought it about. Like you,
Yeah.
I don't care if the Lord says something to you and that it's going to happen. Then let Him bring it about
Yeah.
and let Him verify His own word, not you try and manipulate the other person to verify what you want.
Oh, totally.
Sorry.
And if you are
No,
the
I love
Let it-
that.
and if you're the
Amen.
girl that is receiving those words from a guy, escape.
For
Yeah.
real. For real.
Run the other way. Don't feel bad.
Yeah.
Actually,
weird.
one thing that I do want to say that I feel like girls need to hear is that like don't ever make a decision about a relationship based on obligation or
Yes.
feeling bad or feeling sorry for someone.
Yeah.
That
Great.
never ends up well in the end. Everyone just gets hurt.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that happens in the Christian world of not wanting to hurt people's feelings or not being able to say no or, but being
Great.
communication is so
Oh, it's
good
massive.
in every situation.